I mean, let's address this in two parts. First of all, I mean, it's a nice idea to think that these records get broken, but the leader in pass yards last year was Deshaun Watson with 4,823. I mean, we're talking about it's not like a tiny gap we're looking to fill here. This is a chasm. I mean, this is like 600 yards here. So, the odds probably aren't big enough for me to really like this. And also the NFL, it's starting to get a little bit smarter with like load management, and we get to week 17 and things like that. Guys sit. So, again, there's a lot of things in play here. Like, you might not even get 17 games from a player who's on the verge here, even if it comes down to it. So there are three players I think have a shot at this, a legit shot. One of them's obviously Patrick Mahomes. I think we all know that. We know what he can do. Dak Prescott is the other one. Again, to hit this record, you need a perfect blend, a bad defense, a team that's going to be throwing a ton. I think the Cowboys fit the bill. The dark horse is Russell Wilson because he's got a new OC. He's got DK Metcalf to work with. We saw what Russ did in the first 5 games of last year. If the Seahawks somehow revert back to that offense, I think he can do it. But, it's still not really a bet I'm interested in. Just take the over on all three of those guys. Probably a better bet.
All right, Kenny, I bet you're just not really interested in. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a whole lot interested, but Geoff, with his last name, really hit who I like. I like Russell Wilson. He was 8th in passing attempts last season, and a 7.5 yards per pass I thought was pretty, or per completion anyway, was pretty good. Look, I think that you have to categorize it. You have to look at a guy that's going to throw a lot. I actually looked at Ben Roethlisberger here. He was 3rd in attempts, but I do think that the Steelers with Najee Harris now are going to throw a little less. Matt Ryan's missing a weapon. Tom Brady's probably going to, once again, just have a lot of short fields to work with that Tampa Bay defense, and then they're probably going to run the ball from ahead. It's a hard one, really, to figure out who you want to go with. Russell Wilson's probably the best option to break the record here. Also, Patrick Mahomes, maybe Justin Herbert. A lot of these guys are probably not going to play every game because maybe their team is going to be positioned for the playoffs. Herbert maybe not as much as Patrick Mahomes, but it's scary. But Russell Wilson did play 16 games last year. I think he's probably my best bet to break the record, but it's probably not one that I really like to play.
AJ, would you like to play it, and who do you think could do it?
If the odds were a little higher, I might be willing to take a look here. I don't love plus 120 to get that. I do think Mahomes is probably the favorite. One dark horse name I'll throw out there, just because he's a guy that always seems to rack up, yardage, is Matthew Stafford. I know, he's obviously not on the Lions, not slinging it to Megatron like he was back in the day, but I think this is still a guy that could throw up significant yards. But honestly, for me, the best bet, if you like passing yards, I like Mahomes to just lead the league in passing yards at plus 350. If you do think Stafford can be a dark horse here, you can get him plus 1,200 here to lead the league in passing yards.